days a week, 365 days a year. Having a little discussion behind the scenes here about the odds on yesterday's games and today's games. That, yesterday I really hated the card. There was only one game that I found that was bettable, and the reason why wasn't because we didn't love the games. It's because the prices on the games didn't even make sense to bet. And I see a lot of games like that once again today. And unlike yesterday, where I thought it was a great day to just pick the one game I like the best, stick it out there as the big play, and just cash it and walk away from the rest of the card. I think today we aggressively go dog hunting. I don't think the books are going to sit there and take it on the chin for 2 days in a row like that. I just don't think so. Brian, what do you think?
I really love the card today. I think it's spectacular, but I always take Friday a little bit. I don't want to get killed on Fridays because typically it's a day where the more public play cash. So I'm treading lightly here, but I love the card.
Chris?
Yeah, I think there are some value spots on today's board for sure. And it's just a matter of sorting through and finding them. But, NBA, it's a great card today. I'm looking forward to it.
So I haven't watched hockey. I don't watch hockey, but I happened to turn it on last night with about a minute and 45 seconds left to go in the game. And right when I turn it on, 3 seconds after I have the screen on, they score a goal and then an empty netter for the Lightning to win that one. Is that it for the Rangers?
Big disappointment. Sorry to cut.
Yeah, I still think there is some hope. The Rangers obviously still believe that they have a shot to win this series. Going on the road in high pressure situations hasn't been an issue for them in the postseason so far. They were able to win Game 7 in Carolina. They were able to take some pivotal games in Pittsburgh as well. I know it's the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs, but that Game 5 was a lot closer than that final score would indicate. The Rangers had their chances late to pull in front, but Vasilevsky just made the key stops that he needed to at the time. And I think it doesn't matter how you got there, but I think puck line bettors were very lucky to get that 3-1 decision last night.
Yeah, it was. You just don't see him like that too often. The empty netter, I think, is something that's highly overrated in NHL. I'm not a big NHL bettor, but I do know that a lot of people, hold that hope for that empty net goal that really is not all that common. How many times a year, Chris, is the empty net goal scored? Like, how many empty net goals were there this season? Any idea?
I don't know the specific number, but I know usually the empty net goal occurs in about, I think, around 30% of games. So, if you're holding on hope for a puck line, and obviously the empty netter sort of leaves you on the edge of your seat if you're hoping for that. But that's kind of why I like regulation plays a lot more than I like laying the -1.5. I know it's a better payout, but sometimes for an extra $20 you're hanging on for that empty netter. Where if you just take a team to win in regulation, you cover yourself with a 1-goal win. So.
How many teams are there in the NHL?
32.
All right, so 30. It's 32 times 82 divided by 2. So 32. Let's do the math real quick. So it's 32. 32 plus this of course doesn't count the postseason. It's 32 times 82. So it'd be divided by 2.
1232, I think.
1312 plus, let's just say there's, 75 playoff games. We'll make it 1,400. I think that's probably a light number, but we'll just call it 1,400. So out of 1,400, it's out of 1,400, 368 empty net goals this season, including the playoffs. So it'd be 368 divided by 1,400. And that equals 26% of the time. So if you're going for the empty net goal, basically a 1 in 4 chance of that happening. So making it, if that's why you're taking the puck line, making it a pretty lousy reasoning. I think. What would you say, Brian, on a 25%er? Because that is what it is. I'm not making it up. It's 26.2, and that is if there was 75 playoff games. If there was more, it's actually a lower percentage than that. If there was slightly less playoff games, then it's a little bit better percentage than that. But it's going to be in that 26% range.
Definitely not a number I want to be in on, but it seems like I always get screwed by the empty netter on a total or something like that. So to me, it seems like it happens more often than not, but the numbers are the numbers.
Would you do a 2%er on a 26%er?
No.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
There's 38 empty net goals in the playoffs so far.
Well, yesterday's game, I did the same thing as you last night, Mitch. I turned it on with 2 minutes to go or so because I wanted to see if the Rangers could pull it out, and I was thoroughly disappointed.
What was I watching? I don't even know what I was watching. That I did. Oh, I was watching the Southern Charm reunion from last season. Craig and Madison were in the, kind of doing the commentary of the reunion, even though they were on the reunion show. They were like looking back a year ago onto the reunion on Southern Charm. Yeah, this is what I do when hockey's on.
Oh, I know. Okay.
This is what I do.
Trying to think what
this is what I do when hockey's on.
I was watching Little People, Big World.
Yeah,
I know.
There it is. Yeah, which tells you how much people care about the NHL. Anyway, speaking of the NHL, we got Major League Baseball action. Full card and some really crazy odds out there. So there's going to be some chances to take some shots here. We got the Phillies returning home, taking on the Diamondbacks. Wheeler originally scheduled here for the Phillies, but Kyle Gibson moved into this spot up against Zach Gallen. We got Luis Severino for the Yankees up against the Cubbies, and Eric Fede up against Aaron Ashby for the slumping Brewers. Chris, Steven Strasburg last night, 3 runs in the first inning, 7 runs overall. Some wild pitches in there as well. I don't know. We talked about it yesterday. $35 million a year, $245 guaranteed money. Yeah. Is it any wonder why the Nationals are in last place? Anyways, what do you think of these three?
I would say that's just a little bit more crazy than that Garrett Cole contract after how Cole pitched last night too. But I'm gonna go with the under 8.5 in that Diamondbacks Phillies matchup. Kyle Gibson, not a pitcher I love, but he is pitching better at home than on the road this season. And Zach Gallen, the Diamondbacks staff ace, has given up 2 earned runs or less in the majority of his starts this season. So I think that could be a 4-3 game at best. So give me the under in that one. I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers on the run line. Nothing cures what ails you, like facing Eric Fede. Allowed 10 earned runs in his last 2 starts, spanning just 6 innings of work. I think the Brewers' bats are due to bounce back, and the Washington Nationals, a team a lot of teams find their groove again. So give me the Brewers on the run line here.
Brian?
I'm going to have some agreements and some disagreements with my good buddy Ruflo. I think the Arizona Diamondbacks and Phillies, I think we see it go over the 8.5. I think Zach Gallen's going to have a good performance, but I think the Phillies bats will get him for a few runs. They seem to be hitting the ball well, and Kyle Gibson, he could get blown up at any time. So I think playing in Philly in that stadium, I like it to go over the 8.5. Then Brewers and Nationals, just a very small, slight lean to the Brewers minus 1.5 here with Ashby on the mound. I think the Brewers come in desperate. This number's really high, but I think on the run line you're not paying any juice. I'd have to look that up, but for me, minus 1.5 Brewers, and then the total in that game, Brewers and Nationals. I'm going to take the under here just because it doesn't make much sense because Fede has been hit hard lately, but I think Ashby and the Brewers bats haven't been hitting the ball. So I could see this one going under the 8.
I like the Cubs on the run line here against the Yankees, plus the 1.5. Cubs red hot on the run line as road dogs. Yeah, these are words coming out of my mouth. taking the Cubs plus the 1.5 in this one. It's been straight money. Yeah, Cubs, I'm taking, and straight money, all coming out of my mouth in one segment here. We've got I like the Diamondbacks plus the half a run against the Phillies in the first 5 innings of that game against in that Phillies Diamondbacks. I kind of like the under in that one too, but I could see a 0-0, 1-1 type game rolling, in the 5th, or the Diamondbacks having the lead. So I kind of like all of those things. And why not take the Yurfie in Washington tonight? Why not? Talk me out of it. Talk me off the Yurfie. I dare you. Anyways, those are my picks. We move to Cleveland, where the Guardians take on the A's. Tristan McKenzie against Paul Blackburn. We've got the Tigers, Eduardo Rodriguez up against the mountain of disappointment that is Jose Barrios. And we've got Spencer Strider up against Roansy Contreras for the Pirates. Brian?
Boy, you go from the guy that's best at pronouncing names, you and Ruflo, to the worst, the guy that butchers them all. For this grouping of games here, I'm going to take I'm going to start off with the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5. I think Contreras can give you 5 strong, and the Pirates bullpen can keep them in it. Strider hasn't looked bad, but I think there's a 1-run game with the Pirates and Braves, and then the Blue Jays and Tigers. I don't know who would lay minus 220 with Barrios. I mean, he might give you a 7-inning solid performance, but then he might get touched up for a ton of runs. It's just, I think there's way too many people like in Toronto here on the run line. I'm going to take the Tigers plus the 1.5 here. And the Oakland A's Guardians, another run line game. Actually plus 1.5 for all 3 of these. I'm going to take the Oakland A's plus 1.5. I like Blackburn on the mound. Always gives the A's a shot to win. McKenzie is one of my guys, but I think it's a 1-run game. I'll take the A's plus the 1.5.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to take Cleveland in the first 5, as well as the over 4 runs in the first 5 innings between these two. I don't think McKenzie will give up a whole ton. I think this is all about Blackburn. He has been getting touched up in his last few starts, and the Guardians have a solid offense that can, at least plate, I'd say, 3 runs by the 5th inning. I could see 3-1 at the very least, but I do like Cleveland in the first 5 more than I like the over. I like the over 9 for the full game for that Toronto-Detroit matchup. Both those pitchers, Rodriguez and Barrios, giving up a lot of hard contact this season. And I think this could be a game that gets well into double digits. And I also like the under in the first 5 between the Pirates and the Braves. Like Brian said, Roansy Contreras pitching extremely well. Spencer Strider, we've only seen him in a majority of a relief role, but he's starting to get comfortable as a starter. I think first 5 innings, bit of a pitcher's duel here, so give me the under.
Yeah, I think that this is one of those slots where it's like you just take a shot, you just go for the fences. I mean, I don't know what's a worse bet, the Blue Jays minus the 213 or the Blue Jays minus the 1.5 laying negative odds here. I'm just not sure which is worse of those two. And I'm sure we could, if we reached out tomorrow to one of our cappers, I'm sure we could even get a -1, sandwich right in between those horrific bets. But I just think these are just the ones. The same thing with the Braves. I believe they might be negative as well on the run line here against Roansy, who's been fantastic. And Tristan McKenzie has been good. He's like a lot of young pitchers. He'll make a mistake and pay the biggest price on them. It's like he'll make like 2 bad pitches a game and they'll both be home runs. They might be solo shots, but they might be more depending on what it is. So you just got to watch out for him. Blackburn seems to be handling it well. And Oakland, of course, playing way better on the road than they do at home. Anyways, we move on. Let's do our promos here. Brian, what are you selling today?
Well, off a winning day yesterday, only the crappy White Sox cost me a sweep. I'm going to try to get back into swinging things and keep the winning going. I got my NBA Friday Titanium winner. You can get that for $15 at Big Dogs. Or if you want all 3 of my best bets, I got my Pound Zone 3-pack, 2 MLBs that include the blank check and that Titanium winner for $50 at pickdogs.com. Premium picks. And don't forget to check out my Fast 5 video yesterday, 5-0 on the free picks. Going to try to follow it up.
Yeah, for me, I'm going for another winning day as well. 3-2 yesterday, but unfortunately the pickoff play didn't come in. The Twins folded like a cheap lawn chair, but it's fine. We bounced back today. I got another MLB pickoff play, $15, or that pickoff play included in my my Fastball Friday 3-pack. Got that for $39.95 over Pick Dogs Premium.
I have my big play. I also have for $15. Back to my winning ways. It is definitely some easy winners too the last few days, and then we also have I have a 3-pack with my NBA Finals pick along with 2 other baseball picks. That one's $34.99. So $15 big play, and then also the NBA Finals and 2 other Major League Baseball plays. I like today's card a lot, but Fridays haven't always been the best to me. But anyways, so I invest in some companies and I do some stuff on the side as well. And I'm in some of these cannabis companies, and one of the companies I'm invested in does cannabis education. So they have this new education course, and it's called Ruflo, you listen to me? Because this one, you're going to like this one. They have it for a ganjier training. So it's kind of like the sommelier, but of weed.
Ooh.
Yes. I showed this to my friends from college. They said, there was, quote, I'll steal their line, I've been training for this my whole life. So, I mean, we all have some candidates for this position. I mean, sounds silly, but I guess kind of the direction that it's going. I'm not really sure. It's like, you know, who's is Tommy Chong the head ganjier, our head ganjier?
I just imagine the little trays, and it's just like, this one is a 2018 blend. You're just wafting, leave it on the palate. Oh man,
yeah,
that's funny.
I just thought it was.
That's good.
I thought it was pretty funny.
That's good.
It's like I'm gonna ask these guys on the show what they think.
Can you imagine the food spread for people at that thing?
Oh yeah. A little more than just wine and cheese, huh?
Just a little bit.
All right. Well, we move to our next slate of games. We got the White Sox taking on the Rangers. We've got an interesting one as the Astros take on the Marlins, and the Twins hosting the Rays. And we have a 30-cent line movement, Brian, in this Twins-Rays game.
Oh, interesting. What's it at currently?
Minus 120 for the Twins. They opened at plus 110.
This morning it was about minus 105 for the Minnesota Twins.
They opened at plus 110.
Yeah. So that's definitely good for people back in Minnesota. It all depends on what percentages we're seeing out there. But I like Minnesota.
Any of these games?
In this, what were the groupings of game?
White Sox,
Miami Marlins,
White Sox, Rangers,
Astros.
White Sox, Rangers, White Sox, Rangers, Astros, Marlins, Twins, Rays.
In that group, I'm going to start right off with the Chicago White Sox on the money line. Talk about a team of disappointment, and they always seem to tempt me into taking them, and I'm going to back them today, just not a premium play. I just think you're getting a price with the White Sox at home, and they're much better than their record would indicate. You got a pitcher on the mound in Davis Martin who has subpar long-term minor league numbers, but if you compare that going against Glenn Otto, I think the White Sox have an excellent chance. So I'll lay the money line again. Hopefully I don't get burnt. Then Marlins and Astros, I'm going to take the under 7.5 there. The number's light, but I think Pablo Lopez could go 7 strong, and Luis Garcia could go 7 strong. I think runs are going to be tough to come by there. I'm going to take the under 7.5.
I'm going to take a shot with the Marlins at plus 140. I like Pablo Lopez. I like what he's done on the road this season. An ERA around 2 away from home this season. We all know the Houston Astros can be potent offensively, but they can also shut down, as they have in Garcia's last few starts. 1 run or less scored for the Houston Astros in 3 of Garcia's last 4 starts. I think Miami capable of taking one on the road here against Houston. So give me that plus 140 as well as the under 8. I'm also going to go with the Minnesota Twins. I know they burned me yesterday, but this is just a pitching matchup that I can't pass up on. Devin Smeltzer's been really good this season, and Drew Rasmussen, while he's been good as well, the majority of issues have come on the road for Rasmussen, an ERA over 5. I think Minnesota Twins could bounce back here after a disappointing Thursday.
I'm disgusted with the Chicago White Sox and feel that Tony La Russa should be fired. I'll continue to say it. I said it all along this season. I will continue to say it. I think if you're going to intentionally walk a guy, you intentionally walk him right out of the gate. You don't wait until there's a 1-2 count on him. I do not understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And, yeah, I believe he should be fired, and I think he should have been fired on the spot. I think he should have been Belima fired right on the field. I do not understand it. I've never seen it before. A 1-2 count, and
makes no sense.
And you intentionally walk somebody. What are you doing? You know?
I can see 2-1 walking the guy.
No, I could see either you intentionally walk the guy or you pitch to him. It's not like it's 3-0. You know? Anything short of 3-0, you're pitching. Jerk. Anyways, I wish I could go for the Marlins here, but the Astros own them. And then, I don't know, that line movement in that Smeltzer-Rasmussen game, something smells funny to me. Anyways, got the Royals up against the Orioles. This one, they're charging full price admission for this thing. We've got the Cardinals up against the Reds, bring the boxing gloves. And we've got the Angels against the Metropolitans. The Angels off the snide.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani. You know, if they didn't win yesterday, that it was pretty much
back to homer.
And didn't he pitch too?
He pitched too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually hit a home run prop yesterday. So.
Wow. Hell did freeze over. Chris, who do you like in these three?
For me, I like the over between Baltimore and Kansas City. I just think Bruce Zimmerman. I like to sort of go against him yesterday, but then his start got moved to today, but still doesn't change the fact he's allowed 20 runs in his last 4 starts, pretty much a 9 ERA. And Jonathan Heasley not pitching like he wants a spot in the Royals rotation. I think, despite the fact these are two, less than imposing offenses, I think they're going to come alive today and really, really get this one into double digits. I think you go with an alternate total here, maybe over 11.5, 12.5. I also like the Cincinnati Reds. I like Luis Castillo. I just haven't seen enough of Andre Palante to really feel comfortable backing him here, even with the Cardinals lineup behind him. So lean towards the Cincinnati Reds there, and I'm going to go with the over 8.5 in the Mets and Angels game. Tyler McGill didn't look good going into the injured list. Maybe the fact that he's now quote unquote healthy, we'll have to still see, but maybe that'll turn things around. But until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. I think the Angels got a taste of that success yesterday. I really want to tee off again here, take out some frustration. So I'm going to lean towards the over 8.5 in that game.
Brian?
For me in that group in the games here, I'm going to take my guy, Castillo, here. I think we get 6-7 strong from the Reds. Nobody's really expecting them to win. The Cardinals do usually win these type of games, the ones that they're supposed to win. But I think at this price, I'll take a slight chance here with the Cincinnati Reds. And I agree with Chris, Baltimore and Kansas City over that 9.5. I think Zimmerman and Heasley combined by the 5th inning could get over that number. So I think that's a nice, easy one, hopefully. So those are my two: over Orioles, Royals, and then Cincinnati Reds money line.
I like the Cardinals here against the Reds. They just own them, and gonna stick with it. And I think the Angels make it back-to-backers. I think they take out the Mets and Tyler McGill. 2 names spelled wrong. Same player. Got the Padres taking on the Rockies. The Rockies kind of did a little number there on the Giants very quietly, right? They kind of did it at big numbers, too. Then you got the Mariners taking on the Red Sox, and the Giants taking on the Dodgers in another, I think they're going to start that game with a group hug. Chris?
Yeah, big group hug in center field. I'm going to go with the over in that Red Sox Mariners game. Rich Hill, for me, has always been a 5 inning guy at best, and in those 5 innings, he can usually get touched up for a few runs. On the flip side, the Mariners haven't announced a starter, but if the rotation pattern continues, it looks like it could be Marco Gonzalez here. If that's the case, I love the over, even at T-Mobile Park. I think that's going to be a double-digit game. I go with San Diego Padres minus 2.5 here. I think Joe Musgrove's pitching lights out this season. Two-run runs or less in all of his starts this season. The Colorado Rockies tend to struggle a lot on the road, so give me the Padres to tee off on the Rockies there and Chad Kuhl. And for the Dodgers San Francisco game, I'm going to go with the under 8.5. I think Walker Buehler and Jacob Junis have a bit of a pitcher's duel here, and like you said, two teams that don't like each other. I expect this to be a hard-fought game, maybe even 3-2, something along those lines. So give me the under 8.5.
Trent Buster Ruffalo, as the Rockies have covered 5 in a row as run line dogs. We were talking about that before the show.
Yeah, they look pretty good in San Francisco as a road dog. But anyway, I'm going to agree and disagree with Chris. But in the first one, my disagreement, I'm going to take the Rockies plus the 1.5 here. Chad, Mr. Cool, I was ready to jump off his bandwagon, but he's had, I think, he's gotten on track with 2 good starts in a row, and the Musgrove has been absolutely phenomenal. But what do you
think his song is?
Too cool for cool.
Too cool. Like every guy, like all the baseball players that have a song or like the announcement thing. Chad Cool.
Oh, what his song is when he comes up? Who knows?
Hip to be square.
Yep, that's probably it.
Huey Lewis in the news.
Yep. And then the game that I agree with Chris, I'm going to take the over in the Red Sox Mariners. I think Rich Hill and Marco Gonzalez, even though Gonzalez's numbers are okay, I think both of them could get touched up here. 8.5 is not too high. So I think it goes over.
I really don't like that Padres-Rockies game, to be honest with you. I like the Giants, Jakob Yunis. I think this game goes way over the total, too, and I think the other one's over as well. But I really don't like the way the Giants are playing right now. And I've been on them for quite some time, so take it for what it's worth. We go to the NBA. It is Game 4 in Boston. The Celtics have not won back-to-back home games this entire playoffs. Except I think maybe against the Nets they did. But it's been a while. It's been a long time. And the Warriors, I don't think, have lost back-to-back road games, so it seems to be almost an automatic. I don't know. And plus the NBA wants a 7-game series. Kind of all the magical things in the world all come together, on one court in Boston. Chris, outside of the beans, what are you looking forward to tonight in Boston?
I think it's pretty much only the beans, and then for me, the basketball comes secondary. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go with actually a different play I don't normally take, but kind of stood out to me. I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors and the money line.
I thought you were going to say Nerfy. I swear, I was like, he's going to say Nerfy, isn't he?
Almost. But no, I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors and the money line in the third quarter. The Golden State's always sort of been a team to make those halftime adjustments under Steve Kerr. And, whether they're, up or by a couple or down by a few, doesn't matter. The Warriors have won the third quarter in all 3 games in the playoffs, in the finals so far by a combined 43 points. And I think that, to get plus money with a trend that's hitting each of the first 3 games, sign me up. I like the Warriors money line in the third quarter. And I think if you're going to go decide in this one, if you're going to take Golden State, I'd say you go with the money line, because I think if they're going to cover, they're going to win this game outright.
Brian?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to take the under in this game, the under 214. I believe it's a super strong play, even though 2 of the first 3 have gone over. I just think you have 2 of the best defensive teams in the NBA, and it's a must-win for both teams. I guess you could say that every game, but if the Celtics lose this one, then all of a sudden the Warriors are back in it. And the Warriors, they don't want to go down 3-1 here. So to me, I think it's the first team to 100 wins this one. So I'm going to take the under 214. Maybe it's the first to 105 wins it, but I still love it to go under.
I think this is a good one to just look at all those player props, and they just seem almost too easy today in this one. They're just, the betting tools just spewing them out here. Oh, God, I love the Al Horford under 1.5 3-pointers. I want to marry it. I love it so much. I love the Jaylen Brown under 24.5 points. I want to just really just snuggle up with that one, too, under the covers. That is just a beauty. And I think that, the Klay Thompson under 3.5 assists is about, or under 3.5 rebounds is about as easy as it gets. And the Poole over 2.5 assists as well. All of these are just straight money. I don't know, because we all know that Jaylen Brown, he's a dog, right? I mean, he can't put 2 games together in a row. It's like he's got to look like crap in between games. So I don't know. I like all those. Got any parlays for today?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I'm going to take the under in the Boston Celtics Golden State Warriors, team it up with those bums, the Chicago White Sox, and add in the Oakland A's plus 1.5.
Chris Rufalo.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers on the run line, the Minnesota Twins, and the under in the first 5 between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Atlanta Braves.
I'm going to just parlay up all of the, I'm going to round robin all of the teams that are playing against teams with -1.5 with negative odds. And I'm just going to parlay them all up. Both, I'm going to do one parlay of them plus a 1.5 with the plus odds. And I'm going to do another parlay, just money line, round robin them. I think the books take out the knees of the bettors tonight after last night. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. We've got our premium pick show coming up, and if you haven't got our premium picks, 10% off in June. It's June 10th, third of the way through, man. It's been kind of a slow June, right?
Almost Christmas in July. We're 3 weeks away or so.
Yeah, I'm
not
not
3
even sure
weeks.
what the special will be, but I got to cue the snow stuff. I got the.
Well, usually our 1-year plans are pretty cheap.
Yeah, we'd always do that, but I have to have my snow. I have to find my snow. My falling.
Get dress Romanelli up in a Santa Claus outfit.
I got to find my falling snow for the show for the Christmas in July.
Actually, Ruflo would be a good Santa Claus. He's got just needs the white beard.
Yeah, I've done the Santa Claus gig more than my fair share of times. Romanelli could be my elf if he wants.
There you go.
I know I have it somewhere in here. Where's my snow? Just don't use it often enough. There it is. We got the snow and the money going at the same time. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. My snow just stopped. It stopped right in the middle of the screen. That looks like someone sneezed on it. Make it a winning day.